Right now, wildlife officers are trying to capture a bear spotted in North Spokane. So take a look at this video. A viewer shared it of the bear climbing up a tree near the Fairwood pool. This comes a day after a bear was spotted near Meade Elementary School. So there you go. There's the bear in the tree. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez has been on scene for hours now. And Nicole, what is happening at this moment with the bear?
Laura, so very exciting for the Fairwood neighborhood today. We have neighbors out watching this bear. It's been about 2 hours now that it's actually been up in this tree in one of the neighbors' backyards. So Fish and Wildlife officers have actually been shooting it with paintballs here and there over the past, I'd say, about 20 minutes to try to coax the bear down out of the tree, but he is sticking up there strong. He took a nap at one point. He's been eating some of the trees. He's been paying attention to us for sure, hearing the different noises. But take a look at this video from earlier as well. Our photographer was able to really zoom in and really get some cool shots of this bear throughout the whole morning, really. Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife reports that they have had some reports from neighbors of potentially a mama and 2 bear cubs here in the Fairwood neighborhood. They have not been able to confirm that, but they do think this bear here is a cub, and it looks to be about 1.5 years old. We were able to speak with the neighbor who found the bear in a tree in her backyard earlier this morning.
Normally I get up and I go for a brisk walk at about 6:30 a.m. and I open up my house, like the sliding glass door, and generally I hear the squirrels and the birds. And this morning it was a little different sound, like lots of bark and branches falling, and I'm like, okay, what is that? And I went and I looked out the sliding glass door and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a bear.
So that, of course, started the chase that we've been following this morning. I ended up coming down from that tree around the playground and pool in the neighborhood. Fish and Wildlife set a trap over there and used a donut trail to try to lure the bear into the trap. The Fish and Wildlife officer said he actually let a little kid pick out the donuts this morning, and he asked him, if you were a bear, what kind of donuts would you want? The kid apparently went with sprinkles, and it almost worked. The bear got super close to going in that trap, and then someone spooked it away. That's, of course, when it ended up in this backyard. It got a little bit spooked again and climbed up this tree. Now it's just a waiting game. Like I mentioned, Fish and Wildlife have been shooting some paintballs up its direction to try to lure it out of the tree. The plan, though, is once it gets out of this tree, once this waiting game is over, they'll be able to shoot the bear with a tranquilizer gun, tranquilize it, and then safely transport it into that trap. And then Fish and Wildlife will relocate him to a spot away from all of these neighbors that are being very looky-loo this morning. We've been watching him all morning long. We'll, of course, continue waiting here until he's able to get out of the tree. In North Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Okay, so officials waiting to relocate the bear once he makes his way down. And certainly KREM 2 News will stay on top of the efforts to capture the bear, and we will bring you updates on KREM 2 News starting at 4 o'clock this evening. And of course, you can track it throughout the day on KREM.com.